Alright, guys, we are back with House of the Dragon Season 2, Episode number 5. Now, last time on, we had the death of two of my favorite characters in the show with Rhaenys and Meleys. May they rest in peace. We also had the potential death of Sunfire and Aegon, but they were still breathing at the end of the episode, so we'll have to see if they make it through. But I'm really excited to dive on into this episode. So if you guys do enjoy these videos, consider hitting the like button and clicking the subscribe button down below to get notified when new videos come out. It really does help and lets me know that you guys are enjoying the content. And let me know down in the comments below what you thought of the episode and what was your favorite moment. Otherwise, let's get into the episode. Picking up at Driftmark. Man, he has like no family left. He thinks his son's dead. He's lost his daughter, his wife. That's what his ambition has got him. And she just lost one of her strongest allies as well.
Behold, the traitor dragon Meleys, slain at Rook's Rest by your king!
Oh.
To Aegon!
So they're saying Aegon did it. Can't believe Cole is gonna do this, man. Parade Meleys' head around.
Mark my words, this is a black omen.
Don't they realize we won the battle?
Strange victory, if it was one.
Yeah, can you count it as a victory when you lost the king? And the people know that Rhaenyra will come back to avenge Rhaenys.
I thought the dragons was gods. It's just me.
Damn. What did he tell her though? What state is the king in? Is he gonna be in a worse shape than Viserys was at the end of his life?
Is he alive?
His grace remains with us for the moment.
Oh.
Is my son going to die?
I'm afraid I cannot say. Now, if you'll excuse me, Your Grace, these next hours are most critical.
Of course.
He is in rough shape. Here's the man responsible.
Someone will have to rule in his stead.
Who will it be? Alicent or Aemond?
What happened?
We took the castle at the cost of some 900 men.
The king. Sir Criston, what befell him?
His grace fought valiantly.
And Aemond? What was his part in this?
She wants to know if he was responsible.
I could not say.
Our largest
Covering for
dragon
Daemon.
has been killed. Criston Cole marches about the Crown Lands unchallenged. We still have no ground army but the one we hope that Daemon will raise. He who has left us after some marital spat.
Do you take issue with me, Sir Alfred?
I could never doubt your capability. It is merely that the gentler sex heretofore has not been much privy to the strategies of battle.
There has been peace in our lifetime. You've seen no more battles than I have.
She's right.
Be
We
ready.
must answer Rook's Rest and Duskendale.
They are lost already, but Vagar is depleted after such a hard-fought battle.
Time is ripe. If we can strike King's Landing before their dragon is recovered.
Then I myself must do it.
You are the crown. It is out of the question.
What would you have me do?
You need to raise an army.
My mother gladly sends you away to scout, to fight, whilst I'm here being forced to play the coddled princeling. It's humiliating, Baylor.
He protects you. You are the succession.
Then I must be seen to act for her claim and mine.
Yeah, he's itching to get out there.
Stark's greybeards are marching south. If his men had a direct route into the Riverlands, we would not have to wait for Daemon to act. I will treat with the Freys to secure it.
She will not like it.
Then don't tell her. Not until I'm away.
These two taking matters into their own hands.
Simple, Lord Bracken. Renounce the false King Aegon as a usurper. Bend the knee to me, or your house burn.
I would sooner be the Lord of Bones and Cinders than bend my knee before some heathen Blackwood cunt and his hired dragon.
That is quite the impression, Lord Bracken. But alas, not an answer.
We choose fire.
Oh. Unwise.
I did not think they would be so eager to die.
They made their choice. You should have indulged them.
I need them alive. I came here to raise swords, not corpses.
But now you see what my house has known for generations. They are pig-headed, intransigent.
They would rather burn than succumb. Exactly the kind of men I need.
Yeah, they could be useful if they're on his side.
We have fought them for an age and more.
Then perhaps you could try less fighting and more persuading.
They are unyielding in battle.
That's what they need. That's what Daemon needs, though. Somebody unyielding in battle.
There are things the crown itself must not be seen to do. Show them your worst.
I am your servant, your grace.
What is he gonna do?
The Eyrie itself is impregnable. Unless, of course, we're descended upon from the sky.
You promised the Queen Rhaenyra 15,000 swords.
In return for protection. A dragon.
Then she has exceeded your terms. She sent 2.
I have hunting hounds that are more fearsome.
They are dragons nonetheless. I do not recall you specifying the size of the beast in your request.
Well, you goad me, child.
The dragons will grow, in time.
I don't have time. I mislike feeling powerless.
So do I.
Do they hold you responsible for Rhaenys and her dragon?
I would rather they had. They speak around me, not to me. In truth, I cannot fault them. I am now the sovereign. I cannot do as I please. Path I walk has never been trod.
Kristen Cole made a mistake. Parading a dragon's head through the streets like a prize of war. But the people see an ill omen. The king has fallen. They whisper to each other that when Viserys lived, there was peace.
Oh.
They are 1,000 living in the shadow of the Red Keep and forgotten for too long. To the discontented, rumors are feed.
That is clever.
What you cannot do, let others do for you. There is more than one way to fight a war.
Win the hearts and the minds of the people, and then you can use them to your advantage.
Daemon, you were always the strong one.
Who's
the
this?
finest swordsman. Your brother had great love in his heart. But he lacked your constitution. Viserys was unsuited for the crown.
They've got white hair, so a Targaryen?
If only you'd been born first. My favorite son.
Whoa. That was his mother? Man, Daemon is messed up.
After the tragedy that befell his father, Larys transferred his family's wealth to King's Landing. I rather thought, Your Grace, as emissary to the Queen, perhaps she could provide the necessary coin, if you could only write to her.
No. Paranor is my command. I shall guarantee the payment myself. You should address me as my king.
But you're the prince.
What would you call the husband of the Queen?
Well, the king.
There it is, then.
Consort.
Oh.
That last bit seems unnecessary, don't you think?
I must admit, I'm not sure he will ever wake. I have plied my crafts to their fullest extent. Our king's fate lies with the gods now.
A king cannot rule in his sleep. Let them hear of his great deeds at Rook's Rest. But now we must name a regent to take his place, until he recovers.
But who becomes regent?
Did you have a candidate in mind, Your Grace?
I myself served in this role for my husband. I am well prepared to do it again.
The king does not lack for heirs. The obvious choice is his immediate successor, Prince Daemon.
They've already decided.
Lord Laris.
I agree, Your Grace. It must be Prince Daemon.
Oh.
What would it say if in response to Rhaenyra's crowning we raised up a woman of our own?
Yeah.
But the hand speaks with the king's voice, Sir Kristen. What say you?
Daemon is the next in line. It must be him.
They'll never let a woman take power. He's achieved what Daemon wanted to achieve.
It's only a matter of time before he inherits his grandsire's mantle.
Tell me, Lord Strong, how I can...
Everything that she did, she's realizing is coming back on her. By saying Rhaenyra can't rule, you're also saying that you can't rule.
Daemon is the next in line. It is the order of things.
You know what he is. What he has somehow become. Has your loyalty faded, or does it flourish only at night and flee the sunrise like a moth?
What I saw at Rook's Rest.
What? What did you see?
We have given the war to the dragons. The dragon rider should lead us.
Damn, that battle really scarred him.
And what of justice?
Have I not spared you? What we must do now is terrible. Is this who you are, Alison?
I did not ask to be spared. And I did not give you leave to speak my name.
Aemond.
Does he mean the king?
I don't know.
You cannot keep us here! To return to your homes!
Imprisoning the population is not a good idea. Vermax.
Means death to bear steel against your liege, as I'm sure my prince is aware.
And against your queen?
Our hesitance does not lie in Rhaenyra as queen. Our fear lies in Vhagar.
You fear a dragon, leagues away, when mine own sits outside your walls.
Do you offer us your protection?
I do. And the protection of my uncle.
Oh.
And Daemon, I'm sure, has consented to this?
What do you want?
Laris Strong has been relieved of his castle. Does the Queen intend to raise up a new lord?
You want Harrenhal?
The phrase, man. Always wanting something.
For that, my mother will want more than your crossing.
What does her grace desire?
Bent knees.
Alright. At least these phrases don't seem as bad as Walder. Round 2.
I hear strange things from Brackenland, from Stonehenge, and Lambswold, and Moray.
There's news, then.
What I hear in the wind. Children being taken from their mothers, men coming home to find their doors unlatched, their wives carried away.
War is a terrible thing.
This is not war. These are crimes against the innocent that any upright man would repudiate.
Surely you haven't mistaken me for an upright man. They will perhaps think better of their decision if their children's lives are staked on it.
And once again, in the name of power, it's the weak and the women who must endure.
That fool Aegon is unlike to survive. The realm will suffer if Aemon One Eye rules.
But I'll cross you no further. I'm sure your tactics are, after all, approved by the Queen.
When I take King's Landing, Rhaenyra is welcome to join me there and take her place by my side. King and Queen, ruling together.
So he wants to take the throne for himself.
Fresh news from Stonehenge. House Bracken is yours.
Call Sir William here so that I might congratulate him.
I sought you at high tide. I was surprised when they said you were here.
My castle is a tomb.
Queen Rhaenyra wishes to name you Hand.
Oh, not a bad choice.
Or does she think the position will compensate me for my loss?
Pledge your peace to King's Landing, then. They will accept it most gleefully. Rhaenys was not only your wife, she was a Targaryen princess. The queen who never was, and she flew to Rook's Rest of her own will. She died as she would have wished to die, with honor, in Dragonfire, the way my mother chose, and the way I myself wish to meet my end.
A dragon rider's death.
I will see Rhaenyra ascend the Iron Throne, as Rhaenys wished. As Rhaenys herself should have.
I would make you my heir.
Oh.
I am blood and fire. Driftmark must pass to salt and sea.
Your Grace.
Is there some reason you feel free to wake a king in his bed?
The sacred septs on Bracken lands were looted and burned.
As were the fields and farms. And our peasants put to the sword.
They pursued the women and the children. There were works of barbarity.
Punishing Bracken for his own treasons is one thing These beasts proudly carried the banner of House Targaryen. Red dragon on black.
A terrible war is being fought in these lands. Have you looked after our girls?
Man, Daemon is losing it.
More from a man who ordered the slaughter of a child in his mother's arms.
The Riverlands are an ancient place, watched closely by the eyes of old gods and new. And dragon or no, we shall not raise our banners for a tyrant.
Yeah, he is not doing well. Diana? Damn. Didn't think she would be a recurring character. Let's call this back in the fight.
Was it worth the price?
Oh. Does she know? Did she see it? And still holding on.
Prince Jacaerys, Your Grace.
I'm proud of you, Jace. You've done our cause a great service.
Then why do you look angry?
You chafed at being prevented from action. Imagine, my lord, I'm a dragon rider as well, with a war being fought over my ascension. Even you've managed to do your part.
You are the queen. The tie that binds us. No harm can come to you.
And you are my son, and I did not give you leave to go.
Yeah.
But who else is there? Rhaenys is dead and Baelor cannot bear the burden alone.
And when Aemond comes hunting for you, your dragon is young. Will you fly before Vhagar as Luke did?
Perhaps Daemon could...
Said the D word.
Dead or alive, we have no answer for Vhagar. Aemond will not wait long to press his advantage, and then what?
Yeah, how do you get rid of Vhagar?
Vhagar is big, but Syrax is quicker.
So was Meleys.
Meleys fought 2 dragons and one of them is slain. I need dragons.
Oh.
We have 2 large enough to stand against Vhagar. They are called Vermithor and Silverwing, and they sleep just beneath our feet.
Yes, and if only they had riders, none could stand against me.
There is Rhaena.
Who nearly lost her life in her last attempt.
Oh.
I would not
So
risk
she
it again.
did try.
There are those of our line who never ruled, those who married into other noble houses, their children born with other names.
A generation ago, or more. The dragon will only accept a dragon lord to ride it. Also say the histories.
Valyrian histories, written to gild us in glory.
Are you suggesting we put a Malister on a dragon? A Tarly?
It's better than death and defeat.
Half-bloods.
There could be scores of them.
It's a mad sword.
Yeah. The dragon seeds. Alright, guys, so that's another episode of House of the Dragon in the books. This episode was definitely a slower episode, but I think it was just focused on kind of showing us the aftermath of, Rhaenys' sacrifice, but also setting up a lot of things for what's going to come in the second half of the season. Obviously, we had them discussing at the end there the dragon seeds or Targaryen bastards. Dragon seeds is just a term that refers to anybody with Targaryen blood. So it'll be interesting to see how many of them can potentially claim dragons, because there are quite a few wild dragons on Dragonstone, and if Rhaenyra is able to claim them, they would make for a huge advantage over the Greens, especially if they're able to claim, I believe it is, Vermithor and Silverwing, because Vermithor is the second biggest dragon, along with Silverwing, who's roughly around Caraxes' size, I think. So yeah, if they're able to claim both of those dragons, plus you have Cyrax, you should be very able to take out Aemond. The interesting thing about it is, though, claiming if you show that anybody can claim a dragon, what does that do to your standing? That was something I think that King Jaehaerys was very aware of, and he made sure that not many people were allowed to claim dragons. Like, pretty much only the heir or the heirs, queen, would be able to, or allowed to ride dragons, I should say. But he didn't allow, every one of his children to claim dragons, and I think that was a wise move. You even see Jace kind of refer to it there at the end, like, probably more people could ride dragons, but the Targaryens have built this thing up where it's only pure Targaryen kids can ride dragons. So it'll be interesting to see what that does to their power and stuff. Also in this episode, we had Daemon continuing to lose his mind at Harrenhal. He had some very, very weird visions with his mother. So I don't know how to interpret that, but that was very crazy. We also had Helena seeing a vision of Aemond potentially attacking Aegon. So I'm very curious if she knew or had that vision before Aegon left or after he left. But yeah, she definitely knows what Aemon did. So it'll be very interesting to see how that all plays out as well. We also have Aemon now as regent, and if Aegon doesn't survive, I assume he will ascend the throne. So it'll be very interesting to see what kind of king he would make in the future. But yeah, so one thing I did find very interesting in this episode, and it's the parallel with Daemon and Aemond. Daemon was never able, they're both second sons, him and Aemond, and yet Daemon was never able to harm his brother, even though he really, really wanted the throne. He was never able to, do anything that would physically harm Viserys. He undermined him a little bit. He did things that Viserys didn't like, but he was never able to bring himself to actually physically harm Viserys. Yet Aemond was willing to allow collateral damage to hit Aegon. Like, I don't think he intended to take Aegon out in that moment, but I don't think he cared that Aegon was in the way either. So yeah, I find that a very interesting parallel between the two. They're very similar. They're both second sons. They both wanted to be king, yet Daemon wasn't able to harm his brother, yet Aemond was. So I thought that was very interesting, and definitely looking forward to seeing how that all plays out in the future. But yeah, I enjoyed this episode. I hope you guys did too. Let me know down in the comments below what you thought of the episode, and I'll see you guys in the next one.